Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. It's Bitches Be Ballin'. We're back after holiday break that just seemed like forever. But we're
It
back
really did. Back
and
and
we're
better
ready.
than
Yeah, we're ready to talk some fantasy hoops. Um, Kayla's got our agenda today.
ever.
But I thought I would just take this opportunity to say, even though we never say it, you know, like and subscribe, write us a review, share the link. I don't think we've said it once, and there's probably a good reason why everyone and their grandma says it on their pod. So I'll just say it once. Like I think we have 50 subscribers on our YouTube channel, and we could use more because I think we're providing uh, a point of view that is lacking in this
Mhm.
fantasy landscape. So the more ears we can get on it, the better.
Yeah, we're just trying to grow the platform. And like you said, we're providing a unique perspective to fantasy hoops. We're doing something different. Our podcast is awesome. So, I mean, come and follow, right?
Yeah, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. So I think we're going to be talking about trade rumors and shit. So, um, I think lots of stuff is bubbling up, a lot of drama, a lot of talk.
Mhm.
So, Kayla's got a list of players that we can just riff on.
Yeah, I've been doing some I'm scouring the web looking for all the top rumors and things like that. And I work for a sports page too, so all I've been seeing recently is like just pieces coming in on all the latest rumors. So we're gonna start off with a very obvious one with a lot of drama. Yuri, can you guess who it is?
Is it
It's a
somebody
tough one.
that loves to play around with their hairstyle?
That's one thing. Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy
I actually
Buckets,
got to see
baby.
him play in person a couple months ago, which was pretty
Oh, that was
awesome.
the Toronto Raptors game? They were
That was
playing
a
the Heat,
Toronto
yeah?
game. Yeah, and I got good seats for that one. So he was like really close to me because he was talking to someone courtside. So it was just cool to see him that close. I think he had his hair purple for that
Ah,
game. I
nice.
got pictures. I think it was purple, which
Nice.
is pretty
Was he
sick.
with Joy?
Actually, he looked pretty happy. So from what I saw,
That was
but
the pre-losing Joy era of Jimmy Butler.
yeah, it's a whole different story now. There's just so much drama going on and everything. And like even when I was looking at like trade rumors and targets and things like that, like it's like all over the map, you know? Like I've
Yeah.
heard so many different things that it's like it's so unpredictable.
I can't help but think when I hear about all the stories about Jimmy and how this is all kind of unfolded. I just can't help but think about like make a comparison to just a workplace and like being a professional and being at a job and the kind of professionalism and spirit you bring to especially a team environment. I think it's really important, especially if you're in a position of leadership like Jimmy is. I just think it just not does not reflect very well on him the way that he is coming out and saying that he's lost his joy, even though we all know how much he's making. Um,
Mm,
and we all know like what potential he has to be an outstanding leader and an example to not only other players in the NBA, but just to fans and I'm just so disappointed, because he seems like a really interesting, creative, cool guy, hardworking, has good role models, it seems like. And then for him to pull this thing, I don't know. It's like, and I'm a fan, I'm a diehard Golden State Warriors fan, and one of the teams that was in like rumors to acquire him is Golden State. And just
mhm.
knowing like what kind of culture that team has and the front office and the coaching staff, I just feel like yeah, we don't want that kinda guy on our team. Like, sure, he'll give us maybe the rest of the year of, like, playing really hard, but he's probably out of there. He probably will, like, just sort of you know what I mean? And I'm glad that now they're saying that their Warriors aren't in active discussions to get Jimmy Butler,
Mhm.
so, um, I just yeah, I'm disappointed in it.
It's the attitude too, like, I don't like hearing things like that, and honestly, like, both sides could have handled the situation a lot better than they did, but still, like, to see the whole, like, mess of a situation right now, like, it's hard for me to see, like, this being a player who I wanna play for my team, and like you said with Golden State, right? Because I know, like, they were one of the front runners for him, like, they were one of the favorites to land him, and it just changed like that. So, it's really discouraging to see, and I hate seeing things like that too, where people are saying like, "Oh, I lost my joy for the game and everything." Like, really?
Yeah.
Come on.
And it's still happening, like, he's he at first he's like, "I'll play for any team except for Miami," and now he's saying that, like, "Well, and except for the Bucks and the Grizzlies." It's like, "Come on, dude."
I know. And, like, we should say too, like, I'm not sure, like, how he's being treated by the organization and things like that. Obviously, there's a lot of things that the fans that we don't know, that's happening behind the scenes too. So, I mean, even if it's something, like, truly, like, so horrible still, like, it's just hard to hear that, you know?
He's getting paid so much money,
And
like,
that's the thing.
it's yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know where he's gonna go. What, Phoenix maybe because of the whole Bradley Beal stuff that's happening now? I mean,
I've heard that, but, like, I even here, like, I wrote down, like, numerous teams are interested in him. Like, there's not just, like, one team, there's so many different links that there's no point in me even trying to guess where he's gonna go, go because I know it's
yeah,
gonna be wrong. That's how just
yeah.
crazy it is, you know?
I
Like, I
bet
think the only
you
team is the Grizzlies, it's not gonna happen,
yeah.
and
I mean,
Warriors probably.
probably not. I think the Dubs might want Vooch or I even heard Zion, but I don't want Zion, but,
Mhm.
Jimmy, like, I bet you Miami's not gonna get any great offers for him, and he's gonna be stuck there for the rest of the
You
year.
think so? I just
Yeah.
think that the relationship is so bad between the 2 that the best thing that they could do is just move on. Like,
What if
even if
they
you have
just
to
sit
get a
him,
little
though?
bit less. If they what? If they just didn't?
What if they sit him?
Man, I don't know, that would be really disappointing, like, especially if I have Jimmy in a fantasy league, like, I don't have him in any leagues, I'm not really a fan of him in fantasy, um, but, oh my god, that would be horrible, losing one of your top picks to that.
Other teams have
Oh
done it
god.
where they've just sat their
It's
players. Was it, Anthony Davis when his last year in, like, New Orleans, they just sat him?
possibly I honestly can't remember,
Yeah,
but it's definitely happened before, and yeah, it is possible that it happens again, but I think that the trade is the most likely scenario,
yeah,
but where he ends up, couldn't even begin to guess.
yep,
Yeah, and I think, like, even in the coming days too, like, there's gonna be so many different rumors, news reports that are gonna come out, and it's just gonna be shifting every day.
yep.
Yeah, but not good things, so
Alright, who's the next on the hit parade here?
Cam Johnson.
Oh,
So,
wow.
he's
Okay.
yeah, he's been dominating the headlines right now, and, like, Grizzlies, Pacers, Kings, I believe the
Who
Thunder.
wouldn't want him?
Exactly, right? I think the Thunder are the favorite right now to land him.
Oh my god, seriously? The
Yeah,
Thunder, okay,
the Thunder.
so he would maybe displace Lou Dort?
I would think so, I mean, I considered him an upgrade.
Yeah, yeah. Not probably not defensively, though.
Yeah, defensively, I gotta go Dort, but I mean, like, offensive firepower?
Offensively, oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
But
That makes an already very dangerous OKC team even more
mhm,
dangerous, like, to have that three-point weapon. Um, yeah. I mean, I love the Thunder, man. I mean, I would love to see them get him. And I also know it just seems like a really tight team, really good vibes, obviously well coached, front office is great, fan base is great, like,
Mm.
yeah, I dig it.
I can see it happening too. Even the Grizzlies, they've been in the race for him too. I just think that it's like the Nets are probably gonna blow it up. I mean, it's the tank for Cooper Flagg, right?
Yeah.
So there's some move that gotta happen there.
You think
So
picks and maybe, like, a couple guys that don't ever play?
I think probably. I mean, like we all know that OKC can afford to give away some picks,
Yeah.
so probably gonna be a part of the deal. But that'll be an interesting one to see what happens too, because like Cam's been playing fantastic. I mean, he's been a sell high in fantasy for like a while now. I mean,
Yeah.
with injuries, of course, too, but like he's been balling out.
Does he's due back this week, isn't he?
This week or next week, I gotta check the updates.
Yeah, it's Thomas
Yeah,
that's out for a little longer, right?
Thomas, yeah, because I think he re-aggravated his previous injury, so I think it was like a
Mhm.
couple weeks there. So there's a couple of
Yeah.
guys on the Nets that are hurt right now.
Yeah, and D'Lo is out,
Mhm.
another game too. Yeah, I actually, I picked up, Zaire and, Keon Johnson, and they've been
Mhm.
playing pretty well for me for in a couple different leagues.
Yeah, I have Keon in a couple. He's been nice
Yeah, he's
lately.
been nice.
Yeah, he's been good. And down the stretch too, there's gonna be so many opportunities for those guys that it's gonna be good. Gonna hold
Yeah,
some of
I
them for a
picked up
while.
Clowney, and he was pretty disappointing, so I ended up dropping him. He didn't give
Yeah.
me much except for three-pointers.
He's been disappointing, like, me and DMAC were so high on him too, like, heading into the season, and we
Mhm.
still are, like, there's still silly season left to be played, but still, like, right now, it just hasn't been what we expected.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's go to next on the list.
Alright.
Brandon Ingram. Something's
Fucking
gonna happen
A.
with the Pelicans. Something's gonna happen.
It's
I
got
just
to, right?
it has to, like, it's not working out. And, like, the
What
injuries, oh my god.
Yeah, like, everybody was out, and now everyone's sorta coming back, but Brandon Ingram hasn't come back. Um, Zion looked good tonight. God, I wonder if the Dubs would be interested in Brandon Ingram.
I wonder. So the teams I have listed here that have expressed interest in him at some point, like recently, Spurs, Heat, and Kings. So I don't know. The Kings have been linked to a couple of players, but Heat maybe like with Jimmy. I don't know. Like there's a couple of options here. Spurs would be interesting too,
Mhm.
but honestly, I'm not a big fan of Ingram. Like just
Yeah,
the injury concerns are too much for me. Even like
yeah,
especially from a fantasy perspective.
yeah. Interesting, Kings. I'm trying to picture him on the Kings. I mean, they have looked
Mhm.
so good in the last few games, especially the last 2 without De'Aaron Fox even. So,
Mhm.
um, I just feel like they're still trying to figure it out with DeMar, like they're only now just kind of figuring out his role in the team. Um, and then there's the whole Keon Ellis thing, and when Fox gets back,
Mhm.
trying to like I guess I can't really see them making another huge move while they're still trying to figure out the rotation.
Yeah, I was thinking
Unless
the same thing.
unless they figure it out and they figure out something's not working, but right before the trade deadline, and then they make a big move, like, yeah.
Yeah, they could
Mm,
surprise us. I mean, like, one thing I've learned from the trade deadline is that it is just so crazy and unpredictable that, like, something that seems impossible to happen could happen,
yeah,
just from my experience.
yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know how good his trade value is right now, too. I mean, he's been out for quite a while.
He's
Like, how
barely
much are you really
played.
gonna
Yeah,
exactly, right? Like, what are you
yeah.
really gonna get from like, do they hold off? I don't know. I just think that the Pelicans, they're gonna make a move, and that brings me to next on the list, Zion.
Yeah,
He's another guy who's just been dominating the headlines. And I heard the Bulls were linked to him.
interesting.
Very interesting because like they're another team who are rumored to be a little bit active at the deadline,
Right, so say the
right?
Dubs get Vooch, who I think would be actually a really good fit for the Dubs. in terms of what they need. That leaves a little bit of a hole, right? In the
Mhm.
big man category. So what if maybe it's a 3-team trade and then the Bulls end up with Zion? Hmm.
It'd be interesting.
And then there's Levine too.
Exactly. He's also on the list too, but we'll talk about him after. Because like he's gotta be traded. Like him
Yeah.
or Vooch, it's gotta happen. One or the other.
You don't think it'll be both?
I think possibly. I
Yeah.
think it just kind of depends on what direction they want to go in. Because like I really like the young talent on the Bulls.
Yeah.
So I think like why not give them the reins, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But
Hmm.
that's just me.
I mean, I heard for Levine that,
Mhm.
Denver is
I'm actually
interested
kind of
in.
intrigued by that though.
I know,
Like
right?
I don't hate it. I kind of like it. Like if
I
it
think it'd be
happens, like
really fun to see
right?
Levine and Jokic doing their thing.
No, I would like that. And I heard like Michael Porter Jr. Was rumored to be like included in the deal.
Mm.
So, and I don't hate that.
Hmm.
I would like how that team looks. Like the Nuggets are just a fun team, and I love Jokic, so I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet you there's gonna be something big happening, like some crazy monster 3-team trade.
I hope so. I'm counting on it.
Mhm.
Yeah. And there's a couple other teams in the East. I was reading some reports on Hoops Hype, and they weren't named teams, but it was just teams in the East who were interested in Zion,
Mm.
reportedly.
Mm.
So don't know who they are, but the Pelicans are a team to watch out for.
Yeah.
Something's got to happen.
I
But
mean,
next to the list,
if you were
yeah.
to if you were to say, like, what teams you think are gonna be most aggressive at the trade deadline with the aim
Mm.
of playoffs this year, what teams would you say?
I kind of want to see the Spurs
Hmm.
because, like, they're on the verge. Like, they got one of the best players in the league, and they have been active in rumors. I know De'Aaron Fox was linked to them. There was someone else. We mentioned Ingram, but there was someone else too. I can't remember. So they've been linked to some players. So I mean, would it be crazy if they pushed for a playoff spot, even just to get some experience, right? So yeah, they're one team for me. What about you?
Uh, well, the Warriors for sure.
Mhm.
Like, something needs to happen, you know? Uh, so I Schroeder ain't it, and, I mean, who knows? They might even ship out Schroeder again, because it hasn't worked
Mhm.
out so great, but, I think that the Warriors are definitely gonna make a move. I wonder if Kings, even though I said that they're still trying to figure it out,
They just been linked to so many players that makes me
I
think that they really want to make a move.
they might not do
So
anything super big, but they
yeah.
might do a smaller move. Um, I don't really see the Knicks doing anything except maybe to add more depth, but the starting 5 is set. Like, those guys are none of those 5 are moving from the
Oh, for
Knicks,
sure.
I don't think. Um, who else are contending? I don't think Boston's gonna do anything.
Yeah, I don't think Boston should. Like they already got a really good roster, so they're set there.
Milwaukee, I
Um,
don't really see them doing anything.
I don't know, maybe like the Sixers? Like I know they're doing
Yeah.
really bad right now. I don't even think they're in playoff contention, but they could make that like one or two moves maybe just to help them get there. I know health has been a
Mhm.
big factor in them, being lower in the rankings, but they could do something to help them out.
Grizzlies, it sounds like there's some
Mhm.
activity there.
Grizzlies have actually been pretty active. Cam Johnson, linked to them a lot. Even Clint Capella,
Hmm.
but I don't know. It'll be
Finally.
interesting to see what they give up though, because like I've heard like
Okongwu
I
would
know,
be
right?
freed.
Oh, Kongu.
Oh my, after all these years?
Oh my god. Once it finally happens, like, oh my god, everyone's gonna be, like, rejoicing.
Totally.
Even Larry Nance too, like, I mean, I could see him getting a couple more minutes as backup, and he's been
Yeah.
nice when he started too, so the few
He
extra
was
minutes,
great.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, love to see that.
All right, who else you got on your list here?
Kyle Kuzma,
Ah, Kuzma.
100% gotta be traded. Like, there's been so many reports about the Wizards, like, testing the market and things like that and seeing what they could get back for him. I just think it's gotta happen, like, especially after this season too. He's been really disappointing. A lot of injuries too. And the Wizards, like, they have so much talent on that team, like young talent, so many
Mhm.
good young players. And I think they just gotta prioritize that, just developing them. Like, and I don't think Kuzma is really beneficial to that.
Yeah. So
So the
what
Kings and
teams are rumored?
Mavericks.
Oh, Kings and Mavericks.
Yeah, there hasn't been like much chatter, but like in the past few months, like I've seen the Kings and the Mavs. Mavericks I can actually kind of see more than the Kings though.
Yes. Yeah. Feels like they could, especially with Luca and Kyrie
Mhm.
injured, they could use a little bit more.
Another scoring option, right? Because like there's Clay
Yeah.
and then
And
and like
also
they have the
just
pieces.
facilitation. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think they have some options to trade. So I think he's very, very likely to be moved,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Does he make a lot of money?
I don't know actually.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. I think it's decent.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I
think
feel.
anything not the big bucks, but
Did you watch the Mavs game tonight? They played really well against the
no,
Lakers.
I didn't. I was actually watching Abbott Elementary before the
Oh,
podcast.
okay.
I don't watch much TV, but I was catching up. So that's what I was doing.
Well, I will say that,
Yeah.
like, they started, Dinwiddie, and, he had a good game after a few freaking
Mhm.
stinkers.
Yeah.
He had, like, 8 assists or something, but Grimes I think he hit, like, 6 threes or something like that. He was,
Holy crap.
um yeah, he
Let's
played really
see.
great, and I
Grimes
actually
is
fired up.
good.
Yeah, I fired up Najee, who had some defense, but he didn't give me the offense that I was looking for, but anyway, but it
Yeah,
was like
Grimes
a
came
team
through 6
effort.
threes,
Yeah,
23
6
points,
threes,
9
right?
rebounds, 6 assists. That's pretty good.
Did you
Once
get
saw
him in any
Harden
of
there.
your leagues?
Missed out.
Any of the Mavs guys?
I
Dinwiddie or
got I got
Marshall?
Dinwiddie a lot. I already had him rostered. As soon as Luca went down, I picked up Dinwiddie in most of my leagues, and then I went to go get Grimes, and he was gone.
Did you notice I used my number 1 claim in your league, in
Yeah,
you
who
and
did you pick?
D-Max
You
league?
got
Grimes.
Grimes. That was you know what's funny? I was about to
And then
pick up
fucking Keegan
Hardy.
Murray got dropped. Like, literally, I claimed
Yes.
Grimes, and then the next day, somebody dropped Keegan Murray, and I'm like, "Fucking A, guys."
That league is nuts. Oh my god. I was pissed in one of the leagues I'm in with DMAC. I shit you not. I was about to pick up Jaden Hardy because this is a deeper league. So like Grimes Dinwiddie already gone. I think this is like 16 teams. So I'm about to pick up Hardy. So I have to drop someone. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave you there for a second. I'm gonna go back to my team, see who I drop. Doesn't fucking DMAC pick him up? Not even like 3 seconds later. I was like, you oh, I was
Oh,
so mad.
man.
Because Hardy was my backup if Grimes was taken, and he was. So I think I got Hardy in a couple leagues, and he's been good. Like tonight, 15 points, three threes, couple rebounds, assists. But damn, I was like DMAC.
Damn.
He did me dirty. I gotta tell him about that. I was gonna text him, but I was so mad. I was like, no, forget it.
Yeah,
Oh,
in your league, we're still projected on Basketball Monsters 1 and 2.
damn straight. I think the
D-Mac's
top four is
fallen
pretty
a little
clear.
bit. Yeah,
Is he? I
a
think
little
he's
bit.
first right now. For
Well,
now.
yeah, current standings, but,
Yeah, for now.
I think let me look here.
He's first, but I'm 3 games behind.
We gotta get that
Uh,
Uma guy out of the way.
I've played him. I think I beat him,
I think I beat him too.
right? I can't remember when I played him. I did 7-2. Just gotta keep doing that.
Yeah, so projected standings is you're first, I'm second, then point made, then DMAC, then Andrew, then the Verkinder von Bonhoff, Otto, Umut, Hoop, Anthony, Biggie Smalls, Jimmy Swell, Trapo, EMA. Oh, I wanted to ask you about this. So,
Mhm.
this is fantasy trade, not real life trade. So I was looking at like how I could strengthen my team, right? Because I'm punting points mostly, not really threes, and free throw, and in your between two hoops league. And so I was
Gotcha.
looking, so threes and points. I mean, I could punt threes too. And so I was
Okay.
looking at like who on my team could I would be desirable in a trade that I'd be okay letting go. Um, and my first 2 picks in the draft were, Trey and LaMelo. And
Ooh,
they're pretty similar, right? Um,
very, yeah.
so I was looking at what if I traded Trey, and the one player that really, like, boosted me closer to you, was, and gave me it strengthened steals for me, is Edwards, Anthony Edwards. What do you think
Mm,
that's not really
I
like,
wouldn't do
Trey's
that.
better. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I wouldn't do that trade. I think you can get a much higher rated player for
for
Trey.
Trey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do it, but, 'cause I agree, like, Trey's a much better get than Anthony Edwards. And
Yeah,
in
because I
the end,
think
I just was like, "You know what, I think 'cause I wanted to also strengthen rebounds, but
mm,
I have Amen, and now that he's, like, coming in for, Jabari, he's getting double doubles, man, like,
oh my
bring
god,
it.
he's looked fantastic. I was gonna do a tweet about him tonight because, like, he's been great. And you know what? I'm just
Fucking
looking at
A.
Edwards' ranking too. He's 31st this season. I
Yeah,
don't
I know.
think he's ever been ranked higher than 30 in category leagues, which is interesting. And Trey, I believe, is like I think he's in the teens somewhere. He
Mm.
is Oh, that's weird. He's 44th.
Yeah, see?
But
He's
that's
Yeah,
his points are a
Basketball
little bit
Monster
down,
has
but
him they have him projected to rank 43.
he's gonna finish much higher than
So,
that though. You know, it's his field goal percentage too. Like he's shooting 40%.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah.
His points are slightly down in threes, but I mean, like his assists are 12. Like defensive stats the same, turnovers the same. It's yeah.
The field goal
The
percentage is
percentages
also
skew it.
another reason why I wanted to dump him, because I wanted to strengthen my field goal percentage.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fair. Yeah, you can definitely do someone higher than Edwards. Yeah.
alright.
Gotta play around with the trade analyzer.
Yeah, I know.
I do some trades too.
Oh, I gotta tell you though, I pulled off a fucking awesome trade this week
Ooh,
that
let's hear it.
completely surprised me, like, I didn't think it would happen. So I'm in Steve Alexander's rock and roll league, right? Which is, he's the commish, and it's 12 person league, head to head, Yahoo, 9 cat, 2 center league. And I would say, like, most of the people in this league are just middle-aged white indie rock dudes who are very like, they have a lot of opinions about players. They have players that they like and players that they don't like. And so trading, and they never trade. So it's really hard to pull off any trades in this league. And I had a really good draft, and I ended up picking a couple guys off waivers, Chris Paul and, PJ Washington, I got off waivers,
Really?
and yeah,
Chris Paul? I'm
I don't wanna
surprised.
put him out there, but Steve Alexander is the one that dropped him.
No
'Cause
way.
he'll get really frustrated with some players and be like, "Fuck these guys, I'm just gonna move on." So he dropped them,
Oh
and
my
I claimed
gosh.
them. So I picked them up, they were great, like, I picked them up back in, you know, November.
Mhm.
And so but I had too many guys, and I was moving guys in and out of IL plus, and but at some point, like, I had to get I had to bring Steph Curry and activate him, I was just like, "I gotta drop one of these guys, or I can try," and this was during the tourney break, so it was pretty slow. I was like, "I could try and do a 3 for 1 so that I can offload, get someone really good in return, and then maybe open up a spot for streaming."
Mhm.
So, I was floating combinations of Middleton, who just come back and was still a minutes limit, but he was giving good stats. Middleton, Wiggins, Conley, and DeAndre Ayton. So I was floating like 3 of those for 1 player. And I was looking at and I was modeling all this shit on Basketball Monster, and, like, the 3 of those guys were better than their 3 worst guys, right? And so
Mhm.
this trade would give their team a lot of depth, and solid, different categories. So, I got some interest, but mostly I got responses like, "Ah, Middleton, he's so fragile. Ayton, he's not really my kinda guy. I would never draft that kind of a guy." Or like, "All these guys are mid. I just assume keep my guy." And I wasn't going after anyone, like, mind-blowing. I was going after, like,
Mhm.
John Collins, Michael Porter Jr., Tyler Hero, um, like,
Mhm.
4th, 5th round, middle round guys. So it just ended up not happening. And so then a couple weeks passed. I ended up dropping Middleton, which was fine, but I still had too many guys, and so now I was looking like, "Okay, what if I did a 2 for 1?" And, so I floated DeMar DeRozan and PJ Washington to the owner that had Devin Booker, and then to the other owner who had Sabonis, and both of them would just rocket ship me, right?
Mhm.
If I got either of them done. Devin Booker had only played 1 game back from injury, which was, like, a very mid game, which is fine. Um, and Sabonis, obviously, like, he was I think he was a little bit of a buy low, even though he was doing his double-double Sabonis type stuff. But I think his percentages have been kinda down, right? Or maybe they
A
have
little bit.
a little
I
bit,
think a little
right?
bit. I think a little bit, yeah.
A
I gotta
little
look at the
bit.
stats, but yeah.
Yeah, and DeMar, obviously, he was also buy low, like, his, I think,
Mhm.
two-point percentage is, like, way down. He hasn't been doing a lot of steals, hasn't even been doing a lot of assists. Oh, yeah, Sabonis, I don't think he's been doing a lot of assists. So and PJ Washington was still injured. So I thought, "Let's try and get this done." So the owner of Booker is not super active, like, he'll set his lineups, but he doesn't make any drops or pickups, so I was like, "There's a fair
Mhm.
chance that he's not even gonna see this offer," especially during the tournament break. But the Sabonis one, I knew the owner was active. He was making moves all the time, so when I didn't hear from him for, like, a few days after I put out the offer, I was like, "That's a good sign, it means he's thinking about it," and sure enough, he
Mhm.
accepted. So, I got
No
Sabonis,
way.
um,
That's a
and
really fucking good trade right there.
right?
I would take Sabonis any day.
Yeah, and
Holy
it
shit.
truly, like, I sent him a whole write-up about what categories he'd improve in, what he would go down, but not, like, drastically in,
Mhm.
and yeah, I made the argument, and, so he took it, and I'm pretty stoked.
Shit. That is a fucking good trade to pull off.
Thank you. I'm really proud of
Yeah.
myself.
And
Yeah.
I love the research that you put into it too, and that you take the time to actually tell the other manager like how they're improving, how they might go down like slightly, like why it works. So that's amazing.
Yeah, and
Wow.
Sabonis was his highest ranked player on his team.
Oh, really?
So, I was shocked that he decided to do it, but,
It is a little
um
bit surprising, but I mean, hey, like it works out for both sides, right? So,
and DeMar and PJ just balled their asses off yesterday, so I think he's probably happy that he did the trade. 2
oh, for sure. It
solid
worked out
guys.
for both you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Damn,
Anyway,
that's good.
yeah. You haven't done any trades, right?
I haven't. I've had a couple of offers, but nothing that I've really wanted to do yet.
Yeah.
So, actually, I think this week I'm really gonna sit down, look at my team, and try and make some moves.
Which
Yeah.
one though? All of them?
All of them. I need to go, like, league by league and just check. Cause you know what? I have Lauri Markkanen in a couple of leagues, and I'm trying to offload him, but I don't wanna,
Oh, he
like,
played
sell low.
tonight.
Yeah, I gotta see how we did.
Yeah.
Ugh, but I'm waiting for, like, a really good stretch of games, and then I'll see, like, what I can do. I have a couple of people who want Keontae George, but I don't wanna give him up because I know that he's gonna be, like, a silly season hero, you know? So, I'm gonna hold him. I've had a
Man, he
couple
has
offers, but
not
I
been
haven't
playing.
he hasn't, but I'm okay to hold. I don't mind.
You know a player that I have that and I shouldn't reveal this 'cause it's one of them's in our Bitches Be Ballin' league, um, but Scoot,
Mm,
'cause I know he's gonna fucking be unleashed. Probably not till
yeah,
March, but, I don't want a chance dropping him 'cause, I mean, I'm in a good spot in both leagues that I have him in, that I might be able to just hold, just gotta resist the urge to stream other guys in, that's the thing. But I just think Chauncey's gotta unleash him, you figure.
they have to. They have to.
They
I mean,
ha
he had a good stretch, like, at the end of last season too, and I
Oh,
mean, like, it's not like the Blazers are competing.
I was like, "How good was he?" Because I remember him being good, and I looked at his stats. Holy fucking hell. He was insane.
I
30-point
know.
games with, like, 12 assists, like, I mean, it was incredible.
Yep.
So, uh, I mean, I know they got Delano Banton now, but I just feel like he's
He's gonna
gotta
be
be
running the
unleashed.
show.
Yeah, so
That's the thing.
I
Yeah,
just
in
gotta
silly
hold
season.
tight. Gotta hold tight. Are there
Yeah.
any silly season guys that you're holding on to? Keontae George.
Um, besides him, I have Koulibaly in a
Mm,
couple of leagues, Carrington. I've been trying to trade for Sar, so hopefully that happens because I know that in silly season he's gonna be fantastic, and even if, there's some trades with the Wizards too, I think it's gonna benefit him. Um,
like, do you think
not
Kessler
many
for
though.
Sarr is fair?
I don't know, I think I would rather, like, Kessler, to be honest with you. Slightly,
Yeah, but it's
but
Utah, and
I know.
he
If I
could get
wasn't thinking
shut
about silly
down.
season, then Kessler, but looking at silly season, because he would probably get shut down, I would have probably lean Sar then. But, like, just regular season, I would go Kessler
Course,
for now.
course.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
When do you think it's appropriate to start moving before silly season starts? Like, do you
Like, to start,
think
like, dropping players
trying to make
or, like
silly season moves, like trading for silly season players and things like that?
it's a little bit tricky because, like, you don't wanna get caught up in it, and you don't wanna start assuming, "Oh, this player's gonna sit, so I should immediately pick up this person." Because, like, what if that doesn't happen, right? So, you gotta be careful with when you do it, but I don't know, sometime in March, probably, I would start looking at it, but beforehand, I would try to get an idea, but I wouldn't base my whole strategy depending on players sitting out, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
'Cause you
Um,
can't get too caught up in it, and I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make when they play.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, like,
But
about March, I would really start.
you pretty much assured that, like, unless he gets injured, Sarr is gonna go fucking nuts. in March,
Yes, yeah.
right? And so if like, if I knew I mean, I'm pretty sure he is, so I would feel comfortable like, if I'm in a good place in the standings, like playoffs, I'm making the playoffs, I'm gonna float Kessler for Sar,
Mhm.
like, in mid-February?
Yeah,
Towards the
that's
end of
fair, like
February,
mid-February.
you know?
I guess it depends on, like, your position. Um, that's a big factor.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think, like, mid-February the earliest, maybe late, around
yeah,
there.
yeah,
'Cause there's also, like, trade deadlines too, right? If you're looking to trade players instead of dropping.
right.
Um, and it also depends on, like, when your fantasy playoffs is too. 'Cause, like, there is that possibility that you could entirely skip silly season, and then you're trading really good players for someone who's
Good
not
point.
gonna be unleashed to their full potential
Yeah,
yet.
good point, good point.
'Cause I think our BBB league ends early. It's, like, mid-March, I wanna say?
Yeah, it's whatever date Josh Lloyd recommended, but, like,
Yeah.
the
So we I
default
think we
Yahoo
avoid
league
most of it.
is full on, it's the end of the season, so there's gonna be full on silly
Mhm.
season happening. Um, and I almost think, like, Doctor A, he gets off on silly season, like, he fucking loves it. That's why he doesn't mess with the, I think, season end date because he really enjoys all the craziness that happens.
I get that. I like it and I don't, cause like, it's frustrating to see, like, some of your best guys, like, sitting out and, like, you kinda can't predict when they're gonna sit out, cause like, you know it's gonna happen, but you don't know what dates, and it's, like, a whole thing you gotta play around with. But at the other time, it's like you get to stream different guys who are just going nuclear, and that's also exciting too. So, like, it's got its pros and cons.
Totally, totally.
Yeah,
Alright, we got another name on the listy list.
we do. We ended up with Kuzma, so Bradley Beal is next.
Mm,
So there's been a lot of rumors about him, but he can kind of decide where he wants to go. And I heard that he would only waive his no trade clause for the Nuggets, Heat, and Lakers. I mean, Nuggets, I can see like they're a championship caliber team. Heat, I don't know if I would really want to go there.
I could see
Lakers,
him clashing with Hero.
yeah, I could see that too.
The Lakers, like, I feel like they've got Max Christie, they've got, Austin Reeves, they've got a
Hmm.
lot of guys that kinda do what Bradley Beal does. Um, I mean, they need, like,
Yeah.
size, I think, that spaces the floor, you know? Um,
Mhm.
so, I mean, honestly, I could see a place for him on the Dubs,
You
cause
know what?
we need,
Probably.
like, ball handling, outside shooting, an offensive spark. Bradley, he plays defense. He'd be great. Too bad, maybe he'll add the Dubs to his list. But yeah, those 3 teams, I think Denver definitely seems like
Mhm. It seems like the
make
best fit, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. The other thing too is, like, he's just so injury prone. That's
totally.
one thing that I would be worried about for training for him,
Yeah.
but just because he has that power too, I feel like it's gonna be a little bit harder for the Suns to move him. Because I know, like, there was all these talks about, like, a Beal for Butler swap. I just don't think that's gonna work.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He kinda laid a stinker tonight too.
Yeah.
After being great yesterday. He wasn't that good today.
Yeah, he's up and down at times too, right? So
Yeah.
Um, let's go to next, Zach LaVine, and we kinda mentioned him before.
Yeah.
I really like his fit on the Nuggets. I think that would be amazing,
I agree. So
right? Like, it's
fun.
just exciting.
Oh my god. That would, like, really change their team for the better.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if, like, Michael Porter Jr. is involved, like, I wouldn't mind giving him up for someone like LaVine.
Mhm, mhm.
But another team that he was reportedly linked to is the Kings. I don't think that would work.
But see, that's, like, what DeMar does.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like I that's not gonna work. There's no way.
I mean, they're already having enough problems as it is trying to find minutes for everybody.
Mhm.
Like, they'd have to get rid of someone. I don't see them getting rid of DeMar, they just got him.
Yeah.
Um,
It's too messy.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I can't see it happening. But if the Nuggets, like, I'm keeping an eye out for that.
yeah.
Next, Vooch, and we've talked about him too. But the Warriors and the Suns are rumored to be interested in him. I would like him on the Suns, especially like the whole thing going on with like Nurkic and everything. With him being benched, I think so.
Yeah, I don't think Nurkic is working out. They have Plumlee,
Mhm.
who I guess is alright, but they've also been going small with, uh, Izagoro or Oso Ighodaro,
Mhm.
um, at the 5. So, I could see the Suns being a good fit.
I could see it. Even the Dubs too. Their front court I think is a little bit messy though because they have quite a bit of talent there, especially with TJD. They have Kaminga, so I just kind of want to see how that works out. Like I know it's a little bit different positions for Kaminga, but still, like we also don't know what's going to happen with them, right? Like Kaminga's he's next on the list here too, and I don't know. Do you think he's going to be traded?
I think if we get someone like a Vooch, we would be packaging Kaminga and Wiggins and maybe Looney.
Mm,
Yeah.
I could
Wiggins
see
would, I
that.
think, need to be part of the deal because of his salary. Um, and Kaminga, I think, is yeah. I don't know. It's a hard read on Kaminga because they say that they're really working on his development within the system, like Draymond saying it, Kerr is saying it. And obviously, like, he has saved our ass a few times, in games where he's just been the only offense that we've had. And really, like, he's the only one that can, like, be really aggressive and drive to the rim and score. And I when he's doing that, I'm like, "God, thank God we have him because we don't have anybody else that does that." So I don't know.
Mhm.
It's like, I don't know how much we'd have to give up for someone like a Vucevic, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know that there's quite a few teams who are interested in Kaminga. I mean, I get it. Like he's got that potential too. But honestly, I kind of do want to see him get out of Golden State.
Oh, I think a lot of people do, yeah,
Yeah.
because 'cause
I
he'll be
just don't
just
think he's being
completely
utilized properly.
unleashed. Yeah,
Exactly. Right?
yeah.
Like he's a time bomb. It's just like you gotta unleash him and let him do his thing. And I think he's gonna be fantastic.
Mhm, mhm.
But we'll see what happens with that. Couple teams linked to Kaminga. Heat, Sixers, and Nets.
Hmm,
Out of those three teams, which would you prefer?
for Kuminga?
Mhm.
I think he'd be great on the Sixers
I was actually thinking so too, and I wouldn't mind the Nets either.
with Maxey, and Paul George and Embiid, like,
That looks good.
yeah, it does look good because they need someone that's really aggressive like that, that'll
Mhm.
just drive to the rim, because George and Embiid are, like, delicate now.
Yeah, honestly,
Um,
that's true. And I mean, he could see big minutes too. Like you said, they're delicate, right? They're sitting out a lot of games, so he could have that runway to big minutes.
yeah, he could be like their new Tobias Harris, when Tobias Harris was
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, exactly. Even with the Nets too, I think that he would have a good opportunity there. And the Nets certainly have a lot of pieces that they're willing to trade. So
They got a lot of front court guys, though.
they do, but I some of them have to be packaged in that deal. That's the
Yeah,
thing. That's
yeah,
what I see. But I don't know, it might be a little bit harder to execute, but not entirely impossible.
yeah. Hmm.
But then again, who knows? Um, Clint Capella, talked about him too. But the Thunder, Grizzlies, and Pelicans. I just want to say, like, if this isn't the season that Capella is traded, I give up.
He'll never get traded. He'll
Like,
he'll be retired
honestly,
a Hawk.
honestly, we want to see Okongwu. DMAC has been
Yeah.
waiting for this moment. We need him unleashed now.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Um, hmm.
And I've had people asking me too, like, should I hold on to Okongwu? And I'm saying yes, because I
Mhm.
do honestly think that this will finally be the season.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just with the direction that the Hawks are developing in, like they have a lot of good young guys, like Dyson Daniels, my fantasy boyfriend, of course. Um, fantastic breakout guy. Jalen Johnson was the breakout year before that. You got Trey Young. I think Okongwu is the next piece.
They're winning too. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it just makes sense. I don't really see him as a good fit for the Thunder, though. So, I mean, Chet's going to be coming back soon. Hartenstein's there.
They got the other Jalen.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I understand that he's older and everything, but
I don't want him going to Thunder
yeah,
as somebody that has Chet
yeah,
and Hartenstein. Like, I
same
don't need
here.
Capella going in and Okongwuing his those guys out.
I think
Yeah.
the Pelicans could work though.
It could. Eve Misi, a lot of people love Eve Misi, but then I've heard that,
Mhm.
like, Misi and Zion maybe aren't the best fit for each other, so, um,
Yeah, but if
yeah,
Zion was potentially moved, then that would make things a little bit
true,
easier to work out.
true. God, where would he go, though?
Oh, that's the thing. You know what? He's gonna be traded, and it's gonna be some like crazy team. Like it's gonna just blindside us all. Like there's gonna be don't you just feel like there's gonna be some crazy move that happens? Like shit is gonna go down.
Yeah,
And like I can't wait to figure out what it is, but I'm not
yeah,
even gonna try to like predict it because I'm always horrible with that stuff. But
yeah,
I don't know, it's gonna be a good one. Are you ready for the last name?
yeah.
De'Aaron Fox.
Fox. Is this a real legit rumor that they wanna move Fox?
I've heard back and forth, so I think the latest reports were no. But I mean, like, I never count anything out. Like, I'm just going based off of like all the rumors and shit. Like the Spurs are linked to him, the Rockets, the Heat. So I'm just including his name here for shits and giggles because I don't think that he's gonna be traded. But I think the Spurs would actually be really cool. Like with Wemby.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, matching any player with Wemby is exciting.
I mean, they've already got Chris Paul and Stephon Castle, though.
Yeah, but like Paul is old. Like if they're thinking about their future, at least they bring in someone younger
Sure,
with
sure, sure.
Fox.
True.
That's
Good
just
point, good
my
point.
thought. Because like Wemby's, I mean, like how old is he? Is he 20?
Yeah, something like that.
The fact that he's younger than me is crazy.
Um, well, they would need a point guard in return, don't you think? I mean, they just brought up their rookie, but the rookie ain't gonna be can't be their full-time point guard.
Yeah.
Keon Ellis isn't really a point guard. Um,
Yeah, that's the thing. They would definitely need a guard. That's why I don't think this trade is really gonna happen.
yeah,
I just know that I think the Spurs were trying to see if Fox was available. But
yeah,
yeah, like you said, they need a point guard, so it probably wouldn't work. Rockets I don't think would work either. Even Heat, like I don't really see it. I don't think that the Kings are gonna blow up their big three right now.
yeah,
You know, I think it's way too soon for that. But I mean, I don't know. The Kings keep popping up in like rumors.
yeah,
So I don't know what's going on. Maybe like you said before, like a minor move,
yeah.
right? But
I think a minor move. Maybe
yeah,
like
if that.
I mean, Alex Len isn't gonna cut it. Um,
Mm,
I mean, Trey
yeah.
Trey Lyles has been pretty good, as a stretch 4 for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's really gonna work out. Minor at most, but would not be surprised if they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the final guy. And there's a
That's
lot
that's
more
a lot
rumors
of
out there
names.
too. There is a
Yeah.
lot, yeah, and there's only gonna be more coming up in the next few weeks too. February 6th trade deadline, so about a month from now.
Oh, that's coming up quick.
Oh, it's gonna be so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's gonna be moves happening before then too,
Yeah.
but maybe a couple of blockbusters, hopefully.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, we'll have to stay tuned with that.
Um, anything to report from the leagues? How are you doing in your various leagues?
I'm actually doing pretty good. So DMAC and I have 2 leagues that we're running, so I've been doing pretty well in there. I'm starting to move up. There's a couple where, like, I'm just sitting at the bottom, and I wasn't super happy with how I drafted, so that's a big part, and, like, they're deeper leagues too, so the waiver wire is pretty bare, I can't really do
Mhm.
much.
Mhm.
So I'm probably gonna explore some trade options, but honestly, considering I'm in 11 leagues and I'm trying to keep up with it all, I'd say I'm doing alright. How
Yeah.
about you?
I'm doing all right. In my head-to-head leagues, I'm no lower than 4th. Um,
Really good.
yeah. And my roto leagues, I'm not doing that great. Like our industry pickup, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I think I'm officially dead now because
You think so?
I lost Franz, I lost Luca, now I lost Kyrie. I got
Mm,
Kawhi back, and I'm still like the least games played of everybody. Somebody
mhm.
should tell Poppy Roy that he should, like, ease up
Oh my
on the games
god.
played because he is, like, 60 games over in some of his positions. Um, I'm not gonna tell him, but, uh, so I think I could maybe finish not at the very bottom in that league, but I've just had really bad luck with injury. That's probably my most injury-ridden team is the Industry Pickup Roto League. And then in the
Mhm.
locked on leagues, I'm doing decent in the head-to-head league still. I think I'm like 16th out of 100 and something teams. And then, in the Roto League, I'm like I might finish in the middle, maybe like 4th or 5th by the end of it, but yeah.
Yeah, with the Roto ones too, like, it keeps fluctuating. So, like, there's this set, like, brackets, like, the top 4, the middle, and the bottom, but within those
You're doing
brackets, it
pretty
keeps
good.
shifting. I am, but I've been stuck there for a while, so I probably need to make a move 'cause, I'm pretty weak in points. I'm good in the defensive categories though, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
you've only
probably gotta
got
do something.
you need help in free throw percentage, which is probably
That
okay.
too.
You're
Yeah.
ninth in points.
Oh, that's better than it was before. I think I moved up a spot. 'Cause there's 10
Yeah,
of us in that league, I'm pretty sure. Before I was
yeah.
dead last. Yeah.
You're doing okay in max and pace. You could probably slow a little bit down.
Yeah, I probably should, yeah. This is my first time playing a Roto League too, so it's just a little bit of a learning curve there.
Yeah,
But yeah, I gotta really start to pace myself now that we're getting into, like, the second half.
yeah. We're getting to the halfway mark now.
I have to say though, I'm really happy that I think I was talking about this on one of our podcasts. The head-to-head draft league, the draft only league I was telling you about, where we don't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
any,
yeah,
like, reserves. I'm
yeah.
first.
No
I got up
shit.
to first. Yeah. I mean, not by much, but I'm there. So I clearly drafted pretty well. Josh Lloyd is second, so no pressure.
Oh, hello.
D-Mac's
And
pretty high up too.
you
Yeah,
don't
he's
have a big
third.
bench either, too, right?
There is no bench. So all of our players are always playing. There's no, minimums, maximums, nothing. So
And you play every team every week.
it's no, just we alternate, so it's head to head.
Okay.
So this week I'm playing Noah Rubin, so it switches every week.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. And yeah, I have, Jabari Smith on that team though, so that hurt, but I mean, I got a pretty solid team. I got Brogdon too. Oh, fuck. Yeah, but not
Oh,
bad. I got
Yeah,
Shea,
hopefully he'll be
Brunson,
back.
Hero. Thompson's balling out a little bit. Bridges has been up and down. Oh, I have Butler. Ah, where I drafted him. Usually I avoid him. That's that's how you know you're losing your mind in fantasy.
That
You
was a
can't
good
even remember
face
who you
you just
drafted.
made, like,
'Cause I remember earlier on, I was like, "I would never draft Jimmy Butler," and then here I am looking at my team, and a wild Jimmy Butler appeared.
well, but you're in first place.
I am. I got lucky there, but yeah, Jimmy is not someone I usually draft.
Is this a buy? Did you put in money for this league?
I might have. That's
Hmm.
the other thing, I'm in so many leagues, I can't remember which ones I paid for. I think we put in $7, if I'm remembering correctly, because it's more of a chill league, but it's just a little prize for someone, at the end, so
Oh, you know what I wanna do? I wanna make a trophy or, like, a ribbon and something for the winner
oh,
of
I
our
think that'd be
Bitches Be Ballin'
sick.
League. Yeah,
Yeah, I would love that.
I'm gonna
We
do
gotta
that.
think of ideas.
Yeah, I'm gonna that's on my to-do list. I gotta remember to do that, but I wanna design, like, some nice, like, Olympic style medals for 1st,
Oh
2nd,
my
and 3rd.
god, that'd be great, and it could be like an annual thing that we do too. Oh,
Totally.
I love that.
Yeah,
The ladies are gonna love it too.
totally.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Alright, well,
Yeah,
I think, that was our agenda for this ep,
that's
and
rough, and that
maybe
was a good
we'll
one.
that was a good one, chock full of stuff, and I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
maybe by the time we meet again, something will have happened. Um, but maybe we'll have another one of our lady managers on for the next one.
Yes, we're definitely due for one.
Yeah,
Need
we
the
are.
manager. Yeah,
Alright, well,
but
Kayla,
until then,
let's not get caught.
let's keep going.